What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you are having trouble defeating the latest Community 6-Star Boss Rush Challenge, then this guide is for you. So if you don't know how to defeat Spider-Man, if Ant-Man's giving you problems, you can't beat Venom, or the great Dorky Diggity Dave Gauntlet has been thrown down on that Iceman, these are some battle-tested strategies to help you get through this content. I don't presume to be an amazing Marvel Comics Champions player. I like to say that I'm an average player with moments of greatness. So these are strategies that I personally used, and hopefully you find them useful. So we'll go through each fight individually, kicking things off with Spider-Man. Now before we get into the specifics on each of the characters, one thing I want to point out is the fact that keep in mind some high-level, just overall strategies for this challenge. First and foremost, the energy cost. It only costs 1 energy point per square, so for a maximum of 6 energy to do this quest, which means if you're struggling on a specific champion, don't be afraid to quit. I think a lot of people, they get into it and they're like, you know what, I'm going to keep going, I'm making progress. That's not a great strategy. That's a great way to lose all your money and spend all your units and your battle ships. So what you want to make sure you can do is, if you're fighting Spider-Man, if you can't one-shot Spider-Man, then just quit and restart. I restarted a bunch of times, but if you want to see a complete run-through, I did it on my channel a couple days ago. The link is right below. So that's the first big strategy, big tactic, big battle-tested tip, if you will. Alright, so here we go. We are fighting Stark Spidey right now. I chose a Cosmic Champion. Definitely want to make sure you do that. When you fight Stark Spider-Man, the big thing is bait that Special 1. Do not let him get to Special 2. Special 2 is unblockable. You don't want to have to deal with that. So knock out AI, bait out Special 1. So there I missed on my Special 2. I'm going to go back. I'm going to bait out his Special 1. He shoots the ground. He bounces back. When he jumps back in the air, that's your dash-in opportunity. And if you're using Medusa, you use a medium, light, medium combo. That'll get 2 stacks of armor break if you get the Special 1. You then fire off that Special 1 right at the end of that, like I did there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But hopefully you'll get better luck there. But again, it's a pretty straightforward fight. If you have a Cosmic Champion, they're going to be great. Medusa's great for this fight. Hyperion is fantastic. If you got a Hyperion, you definitely want to use him because that power game will help you later on. But if you don't have a Cosmic Champion, Archangel, another great option there as well. Or any other champion that can just stack a lot of you know, damage over time. So whether it's bleeds or poisons, you know, I don't think you can go wrong with any, you know, just heavy hitting champion there. Just make sure they're good sustainability. So let's move on to Rocket Raccoon. Now Rocket Raccoon, from the courtesy of Brian Grant, this is actually a pretty fun fight. Key things to worry about here is it has life transfer, which is great. That's the great gift from Kabam. It also has a power shield, so you're gonna have to use your special attacks if you want to damage Rocket Raccoon. And you will face a degeneration, not only from the life transfer, but also from the flare node that's activated. So what I like to do here is whoever you used in the previous fight against that Stark Spidey, you want to use here against Rocket Raccoon because it's a great way to get your health back up. So this is kind of, look at it as like refueling your champions. And the key thing with Rocket, you know, similarly to a lot of the fights in this buff challenge, I'll sound like a broken record, just want to bait that Special 1. So here you can see I'm going in there. I'm going to bait out Special 1, and then I'm going to go in. You want to watch out, though, because it is a pretty nasty degen. So you see your health getting around, you know, 30%, and he's not activating a Special 1. You may need to be a little bit more aggressive because you're going to need to use those special abilities to gain your health back. So there you can see me, a couple healths, easily end the fight at 99% health. So pretty easy fight. So thanks, Brian. Appreciate that, BG. Now let's go on to the next fight. This is from Dios Wolf. The key thing here, you have heal block, which is not great. There's Tyranny, so if you're not a villain, you're not going to gain any power. And you know, if you got Blade, this fight's made for Blade. You don't need Ghost Rider. You don't need the villain synergy. You just need Blade. He's a dimensional being, so you'll get that danger sense, and he's fantastic. So if you got a 4-star Blade, you got a 5-star Blade, you're gonna love this fight. If you don't have a 5-star Blade or a 4-star Blade, the fight gets a little bit tricky. Your best bet is to, you know, if you got Iceman, he'd be good here as well. But if you don't have one of those champions, that's okay too. The key thing here is when you see that Incinerate buff, which is activated right now, you just want to wait it out. Let the buff kind of expire and then go in. And again, the similar tactic of you bait that special one, and you just go in after you use it. So here you'll see, as soon as I get into special one, you want to keep your distance. You don't want to worry about it, because that first hit is pretty devastating. Then when you see the wall of bones, I guess they are, that's when you dash in. So he's going to shoot that fire, you'll see it here in a second. He shoots the fire, then he puts up the wall, then you dash. The minute that last bit of bone wall comes up in front of you, that's when you dash in. So you keep your distance here, he'll go after it, don't worry, he'll use it, and you don't have to worry about anything, there's no degen or anything like that. So you can take your time on this fight, and should be pretty straightforward. You want to make sure you just keep him at special one. There you saw a parry, so he can stun. He's not immune to anything, so, you know, anything in addition to what he's normally. But pretty straightforward fight. Not too terribly difficult. I know a lot of people are struggling with this one, but just watch out for the watch out for his incinerate. You can wait and just ride out that buff. Quake, a great champion here. A lot of people using Quake as well. If you have her, you can use the Quake tactic. But yeah, by and large, it's not too horrible. So that's the first half. Now we get to the fun round. Here we go with Yeet OS bringing us this Ant-Man. Ant-Man is immune to all debuff effects, which means you can't stun him. He's got Enhanced Special 2, which can't be blocked. And he does have dash vulnerability, though I don't know how much that comes into effect because he also has Power Shield, which means normal attacks will not affect him, just special attacks. So here's where, if you use that Hyperion to take down Stark Spidey, you want to use Hyperion again here. The power gain will be ridiculous, and the special attacks will allow you to do a lot of damage. Hyperion, clear MVP of this fight. I don't have a 4-star or 5-star Hyperion, so I decided to go with Stark Spidey. My goal was to build up the poise charges as much as I could to try to make those special attacks go off a little bit more. It worked okay, but I do die in this fight. So again, with Ant-Man, just like the other champions, you want to bait that special one. His special one is pretty easy to evade. He does 2 punches and a kick. You'll see it in a second. So he's going to go punch, punch, kick, and then he's going to shrink and then come at you. You got to just time it. You got to learn the timing, but not too terribly difficult. Again, punch, punch, kick, slow, bam. And then you just evade it right before he pops up with that uppercut, and then that gives you a free 5-hit combo. There he is doing a heavy attack. I fell victim to the heavy, which sucks. I'm starting to panic a little bit here. You know, if you get in the corner, and that's the biggest problem with Stark Spidey, is he evades. They covered a lot of distance, so it's easy to get trapped in the corner with Stark Spidey. I got trapped in the corner. There wasn't a way to go. I missed the timing of the evade of the special one, and he takes me out. So I decided to switch over to Blade. I actually used Blade when I played this over again on the live stream, which again, the link is in the bottom in the description. And Blade just devastated Ant-Man. I was surprised how well Blade did. I probably should have just used him from the get-go. But the thing with Blade is you get that regen. So unlike the Mephisto fight, the Blade fight here with Ant-Man, you can use your regen if you have to. But, you know, his special attacks are also crazy powerful because he's a 5-star. You saw that 11,000 crit just happened. That's always nice. But, again, you really want to have a power gain champion. That's really what hopefully you can get. If you got one, you definitely want to use him. Hyperion, clear MVP of this fight. You know, there's the fight, you know, or the special rather, 1-2 kick. He lunges forward, but he's in shrinking form, then he pops up to punch you. You just gotta evade the punch. So keep your distance when you see special one, similar to Mephisto, just keep your distance. It'll allow you to keep your eye on what's going on. You can easily out dodge those punch, punch, kick in the beginning. Then you just wait for the timing. Here it is again. Now! So right when he gets small, that's your goal. And then the Ant-Man fight takes a while, but it's doable, guys. It's not that bad. The next 2 fights, that's where the trouble town starts. Okay. So this Venom fight sucks. This is pretty hard. He is stun immune, which doesn't make it any easier. I actually was unable to do a clean run on this offline. So my best take is actually the take I did on the live stream, which is why you see the Kingpin there. With the text cutoff, which is basically the cutoff duration I had for Kingpin. My cutoff duration was 2.5. Looks like he went out at 2.37, so pretty close. But here you see Doc Voodoo. He's your best bet. Doc Voodoo can take a lot of those, whether it's the Lua charges, which he does automatically, he puts on him, or any of the buffs that Venom gives himself, and he can do up to 20 buffs. You can convert all of those into stacks of poison. And Venom is not poison immune, so Venom is a great option here. I'm sorry, Voodoo is a great option here if you got him. There you see he's got 7 stacks of poison. You just gotta outlist the fight. Venom, hyper aggressive character, so you gotta watch out about that. But his special one is really easy to evade. So again, you're in a situation here where you want to get him up to that special one as much as possible, and then just evade it and go in with your 5-hit combo. Now you have Starburst, which is a really nasty node on here. So what this does is the lower the health on Venom, the higher the degen you are taking. So that is why it is essential that you use a champion here who can stack various damage over time. So whether they're bleeds or poisons, those are going to be your key. So if you got that Archangel, you used him on Stark Spidey, he'll come in handy here for sure. Wolverine would be good on this fight as well, just because you have the ability to gain regen, but then also you can stack bleeds. An X-23 could be good too. You aren't going to be able to stun them, so you got to be careful. So a little bit, you know, Archangel, like I mentioned, he is a great champion, but if you're not good at using the heavy attack without a parry before it, you're gonna struggle. So Doc Voodoo, although I think is the MVP here for the very reason I just showed you with stacking those poisons. Now I lost my Doc Voodoo. He's only got he's very low on health, but the danger here is I'm gonna take massive amounts of degen. And you'll see that degen happen momentarily. It's just going to be brutal. Now, the MVP, if you don't have Voodoo, would certainly be Blade, because Blade has a chance, because of that danger sense, if you're running the Blade trilogy, the Blade team synergy, which is Blade, Stark Spidey, and Ghost Rider, you have a chance to use that danger sense, which will negate the Starburst node. But that's not guaranteed, and you take your chances. So here again, look at the degen. I'm taking 147, 149. It's a lot of degen procs. I got hit by Venom, which is not great. So you just gotta watch out. But again, it can be done. It's not the end of the world. But this is where I definitely struggled numerous times. And then we get to the last fight, which is Iceman. All right, now this Iceman fight sucks. Just no doubt about it. It is a tough fight. You got the cold snap. You got the fissure. Like, he's got safeguard. It is a hard fight. I highly recommend you guys go in here with boost. If you weren't using a boost before, you want to use a boost now. And I'd say the 10% champion boost you can get away with. Those are pretty good to get. Kabam hands them out quite often, so not too terribly difficult to get those. So I would use one of those. Use whatever health boost you got, because you've got to outlive that cold snap. So if you're not going in here with a champion that has, if you left and you start this fight and you don't have close to 90% health, you're just gonna die. You'll see I made that mistake. So I'm actually gonna get wiped here. Iceman just totally annihilates me across the board. I'm gonna my boost ran out, so I'm going to reactivate them. I'm going to go in with a 10% champion boost. I'm going to use, I think I used the greater health. Yeah, so I had 7 of those. I decided to use the 25% health boost, which certainly comes in handy. But you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to survive the cold snap, and then you got to play on your A game here. And I certainly did not do this fight on my A game. So here we go. We're going in with Blade. He's got the disadvantage on the class, but, I had the champ. So if you can survive the cold snap, and you can see here, I'm taking ticks of 487 for, I think it's for a minute. But then I get punched in the face, and Blade goes down in record time. So you just gotta watch out. It's gotta play great. Now the good news is, Iceman is not debuff immune. Though he does have immunity against poison, bleed, and incinerate, but you can stun him, so that is critical. So here's Ghost Rider. He's taking hits of 430 a pop. Just trying to get as much damage as I can. And with Iceman, the key thing here is just bait out that special one. It's not that bad to evade his special one. The trick here is when you see him do the windup, So we'll see if we can get the wind up going. Again, we're just baiting out that special one. There's the wind up, maybe. No, he's gonna keep just going in. But you know what? You got the cold snap's over. So you can see that there. It took out 48% of my health. So there's the wind up, and I totally missed it and got struck out. It was not a good move, not my proudest moment. But right when he does that wind up, and the trick here is you only evade once. You evade once and you don't touch your iPad or iPhone or Android, whatever you have. You only evade once, because if you evade more, then you'll get hit with the residual effects of that. Because it's weird. It's a weird trick, but it totally works. Your evade does not last the duration of the ice blast that he does on his special one. But if you don't touch it after you evade once, it will actually invade the entire thing. Which is kind of weird, a little counterintuitive, but take my word for it, it totally works. Or you take an ice blast to the face like I just did, and it's not pretty. So, I'm going to skip ahead in this video. I died a ton here. I just want to show you one key mistake that I made, just so that you guys don't make it. So I'm going to use a Team Revive. It's 100 units right there, brings up 40% of my health. And I don't have any, I only use one, I used two here, okay, I lied. But you see, the health's not great. My health is pretty damn low still, even though I'm spending 70 units, which I think I decided not to do that. Because 70 units is quite a lot, so I cheap out here, and I'm going to make a huge mistake. This is a bad call on my part. You have to have enough health to withstand that cold snap. And if you're not going to do that, then you might as well not even revive. So here's me getting cheap, and I'm going to pay the price. Every one of these champions is going to die. So I'll fast forward this a little bit just to show you, but we'll keep the first fight just so you see how it happens. That cold snap will completely annihilate this Medusa. Just watch. Health ticking down. I'm at 20%. I'm at 17. He hasn't hit me yet, but, you know, one hit there when I had 10% left, and I'm dead. So this just happens for the rest of this. So let me go ahead and speed this along here. And we'll get to the time where I actually did well. So here we go. I'm gonna go a little bloop. Do a little quick cut here. I'm gonna use one more Team Revive, and I'm going to use some health potions. This brings me up to about 50% health, which again is probably too low, so I buy another one, and that was a smart move. So now I'm about 60% health, maybe 70%. We'll see it when we load Medusa. I still have my health boost, which was key. We'll go in on this fight, and we'll see what happens. You can see it momentarily. Okay, the fight has begun. I'm at 62% health, which is probably still too... probably still too low. So 62% health. I think you want to be at least 75% health if you're going to go in. Halfway through the cold snap. I'm doing great. I am on top of the world right now. I'm going to evade this special one like a champion. Maybe. Again, you look for the windup. Oh, I blocked it. Alright, well, that works too. But it takes a ton of block damage. But there we go. Nice, light, medium, light, medium. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and do one more. Oh, we get a nice parry in there. We get in there. We go in. I'm going full-on suicide here. If you get to Special 2, it's not that bad. You can evade a Special 2 fairly easily, but it looks like I get a good intercept there, and he's already at full 3 bars. I have to go ahead and suicide it, and I came out on top. So I completely wasted a Team Revive on the other champions, but I finally took down Iceman, and that's really what matters. So the key thing here, guys, is have enough health, outlast the cold snap, and then play on your A game. Evade that special one, and you should be okay. I hear Rogue is an incredible champion to use. If you have Rogue, I don't. So you want to make sure you have Rogue. And if you don't have her, pick another champion who has a lot of health and a lot of hit points, and you'll be okay. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is how you take down the 6-star Community Boss Rush Challenge. Just a quick summary. Stark Spidey, you want to make sure you are using a Cosmic Champion if you have one. If you don't have a Cosmic Champion, Archangel will be good for that fight as well. Hyperion, probably the best person you could use in that. If you don't have Hyperion, I used Medusa, it worked really well. You want to get those, get that Armor Shatter going with the medium, light, medium into the special 1. Then you just got to make sure you bait out special 1. Don't let him get the special 2. You shouldn't have too much of a problem there. If you struffer with it, just quit out, restart so you can one-shot it. Brian Grant with the Rocket Raccoon. Here you want to make sure you are using your specials. A power gain champ, so if you use Hyperion, I'd use them again here as well. Those special attacks will gain you life with the life transfer node. Bait out the special 1. It's really easy. The minute you see Cruelty on the right side there in text, when Rocket uses special 1, that's when you just get out of the way. Just keep dashing to the other side, and you'll completely avoid it. Go right in when he's done, when he's landing back from his attack. You'll get a nice 5-hit combo in there. Use your specials to gain your health back, and you're good to go. It's a pretty easy fight. Whoever you use on the Stark Spidey challenge, I would use on Rocket because you get a free opportunity to bring them back to full health. Going up against Mephisto, you want to make sure, again, you have that special 1 baiting technique. If you have Iceman, he's Incinerate immune, which is great. If you have Blade, he's going to use Danger Sense, which is also fantastic. You don't have either champion, that's okay too. It doesn't really matter too much. But you are going to be on a heal block node, so using a champion that is weak but regenerates a lot isn't going to help you. A lot of people use Quake. The Quake technique, if you don't know, you just charge up for heavy attack. You'll build a bunch of those Aftershock charges, and then eventually when the timer expires, he'll get stunned, and which he may not get stunned because he is stun immune, but is he? No, he's not stun immune. So he will get stunned, and he'll take down a ton of damage with the concussion. So a lot of people use the Quake tactic. If you don't have Quake, you don't have Blade, you don't have a power gain champ, you should be all right. Just keep an eye out for the Incinerate buff. Make sure you're baiting that out. When that expires is when you go back in to attack. His special 1, super easy to evade. The minute you see that green bar on the side of the screen, you just dash all the way out to the other side. Keep your distance. He's going to launch that fire out of his hand first. Then he launches the Bone Wall. The minute that Bone Wall comes right to the end, right where it's at you, that's your opportunity to dash in and attack him, get a nice 5-hit combo out of that. For Ant-Man, here's where you want to use your Hyperion again. If you have one, if you don't have one, then any champ with a powerful power gain, if you got one. If you don't have a power gain, then you want to make sure you're using a champion who has a really strong special 1. Because you're going to need to use special attacks in order to get through his power shield. He is fully immune to debuffs, so you can't stun him, you can't bleed him, you can't poison him. So you just got to watch out for that, but you can regen. So if you want to use a regen champion here, you could. You know, I recommend use any heavy-hitting champion you got. I've seen some people use Gladiator Hulk. He works pretty well. We use Stark Spidey. He was okay. Probably not the best champion. Because you don't want to be trapped in the corner. You get trapped in the corner, nobody puts Baby in the corner, nobody wants to put you in the corner in this one either. This one's a tough one. So if you get through Ant-Man, you're pretty good to go. Again, bait out the special 1. The special 2 is unblockable, so you don't want to get to that. The special 1, super easy, does the punch kick. He gets small, he goes forward and jumps up with an uppercut. Right before he's about to pop up, that's your opportunity to dash back. Then you get to the 2 hardest fights. You got Jade with the Venom. On the Venom one, I think Doc Voodoo's your best bet there. He's got the ability to turn all those buffs into poison stacks. You're going to take a ton of damage with Starburst, just expect it to happen. You could try to use a regen champion here, so maybe if you use Wolverine, maybe that'll come in handy. I have not tested it with Wolverine, but Doc Voodoo, he does most of the work. So you should be able to take him down fairly close to all the way full, but you know, maybe not get all the way there. If you got other ideas for who to use, hey, let us know in the comments. Put in the comments who you used. And then finally, got that Iceman. The key thing here, outlive the Cold Snap. That's your hardest problem right there. Do not go in with a champion less than 75% health. Make sure you're using 4 stars or 5 stars. Rogue apparently is supposed to be godlike. I don't have a 4-star Rogue or 5-star Rogue, so I was not able to test that out. But you just want to use her special 1, does a lifesteal, so that comes in handy, and she inherently has the ability to speed up all debuff effects, so that Cold Snap's going to go twice as fast as everybody else, so you take half as much damage. So Rogue, great champion, but again, you know, your biggest thing here is just watch out, because once you finish the Cold Snap, that's just half the fight. You still got to play Iceman like a champion. You can't let him hit you because the fissure is going to stack armor breaks and it's going to do a lot of damage to you. Special 1 is It's relatively easy to evade. It can get a little tricky. Just look for that wind up. When he goes back, that's your opportunity to dash back, and you only dash back once. You dash and then you let it go, and eventually it'll go away. You'll get the dash back credit, and then you're good to go. You can stun Iceman, so take advantage of your parries. And I'd probably, you know, if you don't have Rogue, a regen champion can come in handy here. So Wolverine may be good for this fight. Any other champion with a lot of regen could be good here as well. But good luck, guys. Let me know how you do in the description below in the comments. If you have other champions, other techniques, hey, we're all about a community. Let's help each other out. Let people know who you used and how you did it. If you want to share some other techniques and tips, that'd be great. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, feel free to hit like. You can subscribe to the channel. I stream every night at around 10 p.m. Pacific time, so hopefully we'll catch you on a stream. Other than that, hey, stay safe, everybody, and thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.